Okay, this is a demo of the Color Auto Harp by Mookie Bear Apps version 2.05. So we'll launch it, and when you first launch it, it comes up with the screen that says hold chord and tap menu, set new chord. And then also comes up, it says press and hold strings to change sample. That's just a little prompt. So the way you play this is you just strum, you press on the chord with your left fingers, your left index finger preferably, and you strum your right index finger over the strings. And there's about 3 octaves of strings on the right hand side. It runs C, F, and G strings, bass strings, and then there's 2 octaves of regular strings, chromatic. And when you hold down the chord, it dampers the strings and plays the chord out. So now to reassign a chord, what you do is you hold down a chord button. So if to reassign, say E flat, and then you tap the menu button. So we'll tap the menu button, and then you type in a new chord, say E minor will change there. And then you type it in, and then you have your new chord there. So that's how you set the chords very quickly. You can just assign them. So I'll set that back to E flat again. So you hold down the chord, you tap the menu button with your right finger. So now we're back to E flat here. Now, basically, this will do C major chords. It just says, you don't put the major on it, but just say C major. Minors, MIN, flats, sharps, diminished and augmented, and sevenths and sixths, and sustained fourths are the chords it knows so far. So those are the chords it knows. And then, so if you want to change the sample, there's 2 ways to change the sample. If you want to change the default sample sound, you can hold down the strings for about 4 seconds. You just push on the strings and it shows sample loaded. And then it'll go to the next sample. There's 4 built-in samples right now. We'll probably add more later, but those are the built-in ones. And then I'll show you one more here. So that's that. And you can also load your own samples by going to the menu button and going to change sample, and then navigating the directory to your own samples. So I have some in my downloads here, my download folder. I think I have something here. Let's see. There's like a mandolin. The only thing is with your samples, you have to make sure. See, this one's not working because when you have a sample, you have to make sure there's no lead time on the sample. See, the sample should start right away. Otherwise, there's a gap. It'll sound really funny because it'll be delayed. So, but you can load your own sounds, and you can even record something with a microphone and use your voice or record something and play it. So now another thing is you can tune it up or down an octave by going to the menu and going to tune and entering a factor. So if you put a factor 0.5 in, that'll cut the frequency in half, so it'll be an octave lower. Or if you go to tune and put it to a factor of 2, that'll play it an octave higher. And then you can just set it back, and it'll remember that setting when you turn off the auto harp and go back in. So now, what you want to do, now another thing you can do that's neat is load and save chord sets. So I have a chord set saved for, oh gosh, let's see here what I have here for chord sets. I have one for like, there's one here for Devil in Deep Blue C. So this is like for Devil in Deep Blue C. So I won't actually play that, but I'll just show you. And then for other, you can go to load default chords to set your default chords back. You can save chord sets. You just give it a file name. If you want to save a chord, I'll just call this default. And then you can load it back in later if you want to set different chord sets. Now what you want to do too is, another neat thing you can do is load a song image, which is really neat. So I have a couple default ones on, these are some of my own I have, but Old Lang Syne, say. So this is just a image, a JPEG image. Now what you can do with this is kind of neat, is if you go online and find some lyrics or something, you can actually take a screenshot of the lyrics or any screenshot really that has text on it, and then overlay it on the strings. So the strings are still active now, so when you press a chord, you can actually strum over the chord sheets. So so that's kind of neat. And then you can Also, record. You can record. I'm not going to use the microphone because I can't use it with it, but you can record your playing. I don't have an E minor, but I'd have to set an E minor. But so anyway, and then stop by hitting the menu button again. And you can play it back. So we'll play it back now. So that's playing back like a player piano back now. So, and it'll actually play back your voice too with the microphone. The microphone quality isn't that great, but it'll sing along to the microphone. So, and then another thing you can do too is under sound loop, you can load a sound loop that'll just play over and over. So I have some free ones I found online that just go over, just real simple. Turn that up a little bit. So that's just a drum loop, or any kind of drum loop, any kind of sound loop you can stick in there. But just loop over and over playing. Now to stop it, you go back and hit sound loop. And then, I don't know why that makes that sound when I hit the menu button sometimes, but anyway, then that's it. And there's also this toggle damper. Here, I'll get rid of the sound image. So if you tap to the right of the screen, it'll just get rid of the sound image. Do the load sound image. And then change samples I showed you. So what you can do is also toggle the damper, so that there's two modes for the damper. Either when you, what it does is sustain mode is when you hit the chord buttons, it won't damper the previous strings that are dampered. It'll just let them play. As here, that sounds like. Now watch with damper mode on. I'll put the damper on. See, it cuts off the previous strings when you hit the new chord. So that's kind of a cleaner sound with the damper mode on. And by default, it is on damper mode. So that's about it. And then the other thing it does, let's see, is anything else here? I think that's it. And like I said, we can reassign chords by, the main thing is you can reassign chords by holding down the chord button and tapping the menu button. And then say we'll do an augmented chord here. The other thing is too, when you strum, let me turn this down a little bit. When you strum, if you go slow, it'll play relatively quietly. But if you strum fast, it'll be a little louder. So if you do real slow, it'll be a little quieter. So you get a little bit of dynamics in there. It'll be a little expressive with it, so on. So that's kind of it. And then to exit, you just exit with your back key or the menu key. It will close if it's in the background. That's just kind of a quirk of the system I work in. But that's basically the way it works. So hope that explains everything.